Mada malungil sil moraro kuil at belaul tinamlos bedet magre elam tigel ko o meso reng sigi ng arablur belau mang barat tial ngaringia o mes tigal soldado mliwe kergamam tigamle arrest kergamam. Salvador and I and the staff and Irene are being arrested for this 1 hour. So they're gonna. It's very unusual that we see this many. How many of you? 8 military people in uniform. The last time I saw military in uniform with guns was in the Philippines when a military attempt to overthrow President Aquino, but they failed. Anyway, we have this guest today, and they've been here before, and I tried to find out why are they here, and I guess they are here continuing on their mission here in doing exercise. So this is a peaceful arrest we have this morning. So I'm going to ask one of them to introduce all of you because there are too many. There's some standing around. So can you introduce
Yes, sir.
everybody?
Thank you, Moses. So Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay Mathwick. I'm the commanding officer of Task Force Koa Moana.
Wow.
Gunny Monica Knight is our engineer chief. Lieutenant Nellie Garcia is one of our medical officers. And Lieutenant Shannon Rainwater is our chaplain. In the back off camera, I have First Sergeant Dallas Allen, my right-hand man, my counselor, and Lieutenant Mata and Sergeant Abreu are our communications strategy team.
So the women are in power in this team. Okay, it's good because that's what Palawan women are. They control men. So first, as you know, in the last 2 weeks, I think in my lifetime, and I think in lifetime of many Palawans, we have seen and experienced things that we have not seen before. And it, like, these military vehicles with, weapons going on the street, flying, missile and shooting in the sky, planes flying all over the country, young men and women walking on the street. It's different. It's a kind of thing that I don't think Palawans have seen since World War II. So it's a big impact in our society. Some of us are, beginning to feel kind of uncomfortable about this. Yeah, we have a relationship. We agreed under the compact for U.S. to defend United States. Not us, because we have no enemies. But in case of war, I guess we need to go run to the Uncle Sambor for defense. But we agreed, and you're here. Palau gives U.S. Military rights to use the islands for, security, for exercise. So that's what you're doing here. But we are also we're an ancient people. We've been here for over 3,000 years, even before Christ. So, but we're very few. So when something like this happens, we get nervous, we get worried, and we're worried about being attacked by the Chinese, by the Russians, because you're here, because your military is here, like what happened during the Second World War. So you're here, and I guess we're stuck with you. You're going to be here for a long time. So tell us, why are you here and what you're doing? Absolutely. I know you're doing good things, so
yes.
Can we start with you?
I'll start with just talking a little bit about Task Force Koa Moana, because the Marines you see here today are part of that team. Task Force Koa Moana is a bilateral training exercise. We come here, we're going to get to do some subject matter expert exchanges. We're going to work on some of the infrastructure that some of the previous rotations have worked on in the past, and then just exchange a lot of information. Working in Indo-PACOM is really important to the Marine Corps. So that's Task Force Koa Moana. Those are the Marines you see here today. Some of those other items you mentioned, Moses, those were part of some other exercises at a higher level, joint multinational level. So you had Valiant Shield in here earlier, also just reinforcing the commitment of the United States to Palau, who's an important partner to our country. So we are here just reinforcing that commitment, building those relationships, and getting to learn from each other. That's our goal.
So you are a public relation part of the military in Palau. I mean, it's...
I would call the folks in the back of the room the public relations part.
Oh, okay.
We love to work with the local Palauans, doing a lot of the community relations events. That's going to be a lot of what we're doing over the next couple of months. But that could be from something like engineering or medical or logistics. So not necessarily just public relations, but a lot of different things that the Marine Corps brings as capabilities.
Oh, okay. So how many of you altogether?
We have about 150 on the team this year.
Wow.
And it's a mix of Marines and sailors.
And you're going to be here for how long?
We have a couple months on this rotation.
And then if you go, then other people come?
So right now, obviously on the island, you have the civil action team, so they will
yes,
remain. There are plans for future iterations of Koa Moana, but those are still in the planning stages.
Okay. So what do your what's your function in this?
Well, maybe before we start going to each one to ask them what their functions are, because here in Palau we also welcome the U.S. military. Because with the conflicts in the world today, we also feel safe with you here. And so I want to welcome you back. Koa Moana first came here last year. And then I think we interviewed she has a nickname that was quite fun on the show. And she might remind us of that again. But we welcome the new team. We know you rotate, and so it's a mixture. When you say sailors, you mean Navy?
Yes.
So it's a mixture of Marines and Navy.
Correct.
So welcome to Palau on behalf of the people of Palau. And now we can start. We want to get to know you so the community can feel more, we can connect. How about that? We'll start with you.
Yes, so my name is Lieutenant Nellie Garcia. I am the officer in charge of the medical team. It's called the Shock Trauma Platoon, and I come with a team of an emergency medicine physician. I have an emergency medicine nurse, a medical planner. We bring preventive medicine technicians, and we also bring a handful of hospital corpsmen that are trained in field medicine.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you. Welcome.
Of course.
Sulong, and thank you. My name is Shannon Rainwater. I'm a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy. I am a chaplain. I take care of the spiritual matters within our unit and make sure they are taken care of. I also am a key advisor to our CO for morale purposes and spiritual purposes. Another role that I would have here at Koa Moana is go out and talk with the local religious leaders and come alongside them so we can learn from each other and build those relationships within Koa Moana.
So please pray for us too.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Every day.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome to visit our church tomorrow and his church on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Gunny, do you want to go?
My name is Monica Knight. I'm a gunner sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, and I'm an engineer, specifically an electrician. So, back for the second time.
What was your nickname again?
It was Megahertz.
Megahertz.
And you guys gave me that name.
Yes, we love it.
Yeah, that Instagram page
So
is
what are
blown up.
What are the projects you guys are engaged in?
So the building that we built in Nepang last time with the firing range for your local police, we're going to enhance on that infrastructure. So maybe look at putting in power into that, and then looking at sewage, and then as far as drainage for that. But that's pretty much it right now.
Are you going to build any facility there, or?
We already built the one building, but we're looking on expanding and surveying the area in order to do so.
Are you going to work with the Palawan law enforcement on firing practice or shooting practice and all?
I think we're going to do that. There's more projects and there's more time for that, but not specific on that just yet. Not specifically as far as engineers. That would be more of a question for another section.
As you know, the Palau is suffering from serious health problems like NCD and other stuff. are you involved in the actual case in here, if treating or checking the sick people? And
We are here to do subject matter expert exchanges, to learn from the way you're doing your practices and exchanging that information to see what's the better way that we could support each other and build a partnership from that.
any example of specific incident of health that you're working with our people here?
Yes, so we are working with the Ministry of Health in their outreach programs. Our preventive medicine subject matter expert is closely working with them in order to participate in the outreach programs that are available in the island right now. And that's what we're enhancing on.
You know, we just, Palo just finished building, I guess, outreach clinics, like in Peleliu and in Along.
That's
We
correct.
have also clinic in old one in Ramlangu and in Malgao and in Angkor. These kind of clinics outside of Koror. Are you gonna do anything with them, with our people? Or?
We are trying to participate with a civic action team and learn from what they're doing and see if there's any way that we could enhance what they're doing already. From what I understand is the civic action team participates in going to each clinic once a month, so we're going to try to visit those places with her. Yes, of course.
Thank you for that. I would like the community to get to know you as a person, not only as people in uniform walking down the street. So let's start with Commander Mathwick.
Yes.
Tell us where you were born, whether you have siblings, a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Irene. So I'm actually a spoiled only child, raised by two folks in the Navy. So I broke ranks and joined the Marine Corps instead. And I was born in San Diego, California. That's where they were stationed at the time. We got to move around the world a little bit, but we moved to Maryland when I was about 7, and so I grew up mostly there. It's a little state on the eastern coast of the U.S. And then I went off to college to Pennsylvania. It was just far enough away from home that I could feel like I was getting away. And I did the ROTC program there, which was an amazing experience. I learned a lot about myself as a leader and commissioned into the Marine Corps from there. And that was 18 years ago. And the Marine Corps has sent me all over the world on some adventures that are dustier than others, and then some that are beautiful, like here in Palau. So when I was growing up, I did a lot of swimming, so I'm loving all the water that we have here. I've been swimming in the lagoon 3 or 4 times a week. Swimming was a really big part of my life growing up. We practiced 10 times a week, getting up at 4 a.m. before school to get a practice in and then get another one in after school. So I think a lot of the work ethic and the discipline that I feel like I have now as a Marine came from that baseline of swimming and just watching my parents. We never really talked about work ethic or discipline specifically, but I knew that I had to get those things done.
Ingrained.
Like there was no choice. You're getting your homework done before you go to practice. You're getting your practice in the morning, whether you feel tired or not. So I think a lot of that is carried over into being a Marine.
Well, that's great. I hope you get to meet our Palau National Gym, Palau National Olympic Committee.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, so that would be
Yeah,
nice.
that's,
Baklay Tumingil, they're, I think, Secretary General for the
They're inside Panama
Regional
with Pacific Mini Games,
Olympics.
but
That'd be-
they're
Yeah.
becoming
The
also-
Pacific Mini Games, man, your
Yes.
basketball team is just destroying the competition right now.
Yeah.
In
That's
baseball-
impressive.
baseball.
In baseball, yes.
You know,
sorry.
interesting. You're from Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, there's if you see the newspaper, there's we're grateful for Texas for housing a lot of our people. We have quite a few people and this is interesting news. A family in Denton, Texas, northern Texas, adopted 7 Palawan kids. I mean, I saw the court hearing yesterday, in which the judge was just kind of happy to grant the order of adoption, but interesting, and said the records will be sealed.
Wow.
Is that when you have adoption of because the parents are missing or something, and they were in foster homes for like 2 years, and finally from 5 to 12.
Wow.
That's really very humanitarian gesture. We're very happy. And also one of our first Palawan to play in the major league.
Yeah,
And-
the Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Madres, yes.
Yeah.
He had a great first 2 games too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
holy
right.
cow! I don't think
Hit a home
you
run
can.
and,
Yeah, you can't start any better
RBIs,
than
and
that.
I mean, this guy is. But then his family is from his mother's side. Was, baseball players in Palau in the 60s and the 70s.
That's awesome.
Top,
Is
so
he
I guess it's in
half
the
Palawan, half American?
Half American.
Yeah.
The mother is American, the father is Palawan, but we claim him because father side.
Well, with the commander's passion in swimming, I hope you get to meet our swimming
That would be lovely. I'd love that.
champions. Okay.
All right. Well, I too am Texan, but I only get to claim it because I spent most of my seminary time in Texas. But way before then, I was born in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, and went to. My parents moved 5 times, but I found them each time. That's a dumb joke. Sorry. But so I can claim Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia as home, and also Texas as home. So,
Is that the Bible Belt?
yes, ma'am, it is a Bible Belt. Yes. So I joined the Navy in 1991, and I was a air crewman. I flew on 53s for airborne minesweeping, and had the privilege of living overseas in Sicily. My last 4 years. So I got out in 2001, and the reason why I got out after 10 years was I had a calling to the ministry. So Sicily is where I claim that I found God, or actually God found me, and called me to the ministry. And it took 17 years for me to come back in the military as a chaplain. And I just wanted to serve people. My main focus in my Master of Divinity was missions. And part of missions was, that experience of going overseas and meeting new cultures, and just going with the mindset of, we're all God's people. I want to experience that. And so now my family lives in San Diego, and I have 4 wonderful kids. It's funny you mentioned adoption. My oldest is my biological child. She's 13. My next youngest is 9, and we adopted her a number of years ago. And now we're in the process of adopting 2 more little boys who are my youngest daughter's brothers. So we are trying to keep them all together, and so.
Very
Wow,
nice.
that's very good.
Yes, sir. And I can't wait to work with some of the pastors here. I've already met a few of them, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we have. Are you which religious group are you?
I'm Baptist, sir.
Baptist.
From the Bible Belt.
From the Bible Belt.
And that's that's a major Christian Protestant group
Yes,
in
sir.
US.
In the United States, it is the largest Protestant group.
Yes.
I'm Catholic, and I don't know whether you're Catholic or not, but I want to tell you and her and him that we are the stem of the tree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you guys are the branch, so at least you're Catholics.
Absolutely. I've had the privilege of meeting Father Severo, too. And, we're,
That's his nephew, my cousin.
oh, really? Oh, how about that?
He was a Catholic and became an evangelical member now.
Awesome.
So Moses reminds us each time that he and I are the branches. We are very happy that there's spirituality in the group. We have right now a huge national crisis in Palau. I don't know if you've read the news or you've heard mental health. Suicide is now the largest. So I do hope that you will be able to meet some youth and maybe
Absolutely.
yeah, they be grateful also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hi. So, like I said before, my name is Nellie Garcia. I joined the Navy in 1999 as an enlisted corpsman. I commissioned in 2012 when I got selected for the physician assistant program. So that's what I do. I am a physician assistant for the Navy. I have a wonderful husband that supports me through this roller coaster. I love being in the military. I also have a 19-year-old daughter. She goes to UCSD. She wants to be a surgeon when she grows up. My husband was also a Marine for 13 years, and he decided to leave the military when I became a commissioned officer so he can continue supporting me. Both of my parents are from Mexico. I have an older sister, a little brother, and a little sister that's also a master sergeant in the Marine Corps.
Your parents were immigrants,
Yes, from Mexico, sir.
so you're the first generation.
First generation born American.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, because we hear a lot of this border problem with immigrants from South America and other countries. Is it still a problem in Texas now?
Not really. I'm sure it was when my parents first moved to Texas, but I'm from a city where it's mainly Mexican, probably like 90% of the population. We also have a big army base there, so I think we are more accepting and we didn't face the challenges that other people challenged.
I met some Mexicans from Mexico years ago, and they claimed Texas to be part of Mexico.
Yes, it actually was. Some parts like
It's a huge country, it's a huge place that
a very huge state.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
what are the projects you're involved in now? Can you cite some of them, like presently, where? And
Absolutely.
what, you know?
So one thing that is a little bit different for our rotation this year, the timeline is a little bit shorter. So some of those really big projects that they were able to get after last year, we are going to do some of the improvements to the John Quintaro Range complex that Gunny mentioned, working on the actual range layout itself. That's probably going to be our biggest project. Some of the road improvements that they did last year, we don't quite have the time to get after some of those bigger projects. So really our focus is those subject matter exchanges, subject matter expert exchanges.
Like what?
Absolutely. So, and I just want to say that the important word there for me is the exchange, because it's going both ways. Like I've gotten briefs from the staff members over the last week about the different plans that they have from medical, EOD, engineers, some of our MAP and Intel folks, how they're going to work with their local Palauan counterparts shoulder to shoulder. And I'm so excited to see the different things that they can do, because I think we're going to learn, I know that we are going to learn a ton from them. I hope that our Palauan counterparts learn a little bit from us as well.
You know, under the compact, there's certain areas in Palau that were identified for exclusive military use, for joint use, and for just like exercise all over the. Are you dealing with them now in terms like there's some areas like, you know, at the airport, around the airport, about 60 acres, and then the port, about 40 acres to the sea. I mean, those areas, are they being prepared? Or?
We're not focused on that for this rotation. That may be something in the future that next year's team has some more time to look at. But for ours, it's really the subject matter expert exchanges, working with the local community. CHAPS has got a ton of contacts where we're going to do a lot of those community relations and really get out to meet the folks, meet the Palauans.
That's really nice to know, because perhaps you can also learn a little bit of Palauan culture. Yeah, so welcome.
Look for
to-
us at the next night market.
Yeah.
To Radioland. I know it's not this weekend, but next weekend.
weekend.
Payday weekend.
Payday weekend. We will be there. So come and find us and ask us some questions, and but more importantly, like tell us about you all, because we're really excited to get to know you.
You should learn Palauan because you've been here too many times. Yeah, you look like a Palauan also.
Yes.
So, you know, it's interesting. During our days when we were growing up, we were in the village and in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s, when we came to Koror, we see these American soldiers, we call them Swabi. They were all white uniform. I think maybe they were that white, yeah. And they go around, and they drink, they chase women, and they had a lot of money to spend. And we kind of look at the, Americans. Is this? We thought the white people are like this, very few black people there. But you guys are very different. I mean, these guys, they go to the bars and they get into fight and terrorize so the local boys get into fights. But you look so different.
Koa Moana. So friendly.
so I
Koa Moana,
said,
Ocean Warrior. So the
Yeah.
warrior is in the name, but we're gonna
Yeah.
not have any bar fights.
But he just mentioned something that I need to remind if there are other military watching who are in Palau. We were celebrating Father's Day on Sunday at the Palau Royal Resort, and I had my two nephews who are 12-year-olds, and they had this map of Palau. While the people were still eating and stuff, they were done and they were bored. So they went inside the little part of the restaurant where there are cushion seats, and they were looking at the map, and then one of the nephews came over and said he was not happy that he saw a soldier whistling at the waitress or smooching at the waitress. And so I said, okay. He said, Auntie, on Friday, can you please remind the military to be nice to the waiters and the waitresses? And I said, I'm sure it was probably one person, but yes, I promised them that I will remind. And then, of course, we're an exchange. You mentioned an important word. So we have cultural traditions. Like in Palau, you cannot raise your eyebrows when you're just talking to a person, because for us, it says yes. But for Americans, it's like, I like you, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah. So there are some.
I don't mind to meet with women and they do like that to me.
none of this.
So if Moses does that to Megahertz is to remind him that she's married, right? Yeah. But it's those little innuendos. So like if a 12-year-old kid notices, it's impolite to like whistle or smooch like this to a waitress at a restaurant, or whistle, or a waiter. So I'm very happy that the exchange is going to also include the cultural and medical, and we have a lot of young people who have joined the military also,
Yes.
even before we became under the compact. And so I don't know how they were treated, like they were immigrants or what, but we have had a lot of Palauans join the U.S. military. So
Yeah.
I think when we go around the table, maybe we'll start with you, Engineer Knight, and then you can just, again, tell us your career, what you're doing with your career, and say hello to your family wherever they are watching.
Nice. So once again, I'm Gunnar Sarn Knight, and I'm an engineer here with Koa Moana. As far as last time, I was a staff sergeant, and then I got promoted in Palo.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so now I'm on my 15th year in the Marine Corps, and you just missed my husband. He was here on Island 2. So unfortunately, you didn't get to meet him, but he was here. So shout out to you, love you, and hope you're doing good. So.
Thank you.
Same here. I'm very happy to be here. I want to say hello to my family, for my daughter for supporting me all these years, and for my husband. He also told me that if I could, to send a shout out to the Redwood machine at Scripps Hospital. So I'm glad I got this opportunity to do that. They're going to be very happy. From Palau. Yes.
Can we give
I
the
love you
opportunity to
guys.
that guy standing there to come and say hi?
Maybe he'll come next time.
Oh, okay.
We can take 4 each time.
I'll make you the last one, so can you do your piece and then...
Ladies first, all right?
Oh, so now
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Ali, shout out from Palau, to mom and dad, obviously, but also to all my nieces and nephews, Griffin, Clark, Taylor, Emma, and then the crew in Missouri. I'll see you guys in September.
Now, you're an engineer too?
I'm a logistician. So,
What is that?
oh, good question. I'm just glad you didn't ask me to spell it. It encompasses a lot of different things. So you have maintenance, movement of things and people, supply, general engineering, health services, postal, all those different things that don't really have a home anywhere else can fall under that logistics community.
My true leader. That's great.
So I'm going to ask you to be the last one.
Yes,
But
sir.
Please say a prayer for us to close our program.
Make sure you say
most
kudos
definitely.
to your kids.
Oh, I will. Well, I mean, I said earlier, I'm the chaplain, the spiritual leader for our group here, and I am thoroughly excited about meeting more religious leaders on the island and getting to know more Palauans and Palauan culture. I mean, that's what I'm all about, and I love that, and I can't wait to share that with other Marines as well and take some with me. Let's see, shout out to my wife Randy back in San Diego, my kids, and I have other family in Atlanta, Chattanooga, and one other place in LA, and that is my sister in LA, and love you guys.
Okay, so before you pray for us
Yes,
to
ma'am.
close. I'm just gonna thank everyone for being with us on Udesuall and welcoming this new team of Koa Moana to Palo again. We wish you all the best and let's really improve and continue this exchange. You can inspire the young people. Please talk with them. Tell them what you do and why you're in the Marines or the Navy, and hopefully that helps inspire them to also do something with their lives.
Irene, can I jump in? Sorry, Moses, just a coin from us, from our battalion. Irene, thank you so much for having us on the show.
Thank
I
you
know
so much.
your audience is not just here in Palau, it's across the world. And I know that getting us on this radio show is not easy because you have a big schedule of interviewees. So I do really appreciate you having us on here so that we can share our story to your audience that is all over the place. And again, looking forward to meeting y'all. So,
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
our host, the radio host, can you close and then we'll ask him to say a prayer.
Okay, we'll have the chaplain pray to close the program.
Okay, you have the floor to pray.
Well, Eternal God, we thank you so much for who you are, and I ask that you protect those that are in listening. God, I ask that you go before us and prepare the hearts for these exchanges that we may make, and so that we may learn from one another. And God, most of all, we ask that what our actions and our words be most pleasing to you and honoring to you. And it's in your Son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so
Sulam.
much.
Talwa siya kuman sulam no sa edat mag bodong little part of program rigi dengan ya next question me. Sulam.
Pelawati sedrar mauod Lara rupak kal Diyos